Welcome to the Lunar Lounge.
The Hitmakers.
Welcome to the Lunar Lounge.
Good day to each and every single one of my people, wherever you are on planet Earth. You are locked in, you're tuned into the Lunar Lounge podcast with the host with the most planetary news information. If you're logging in, tuning in for the first time, this is a podcast weekly, actually double weekly, twice a week. I upload every Sunday and every Wednesday. Although Wednesday is the main day, I do tend to refer to the Sunday podcast as a midweek, but Sunday is the beginning of the week. So just in case you get a bit confused about that, don't. It is what it is, you know. That's the way I've lined it up. So this is a podcast show which aims to inform, share, enlighten about all of the cosmological events that are taking place right about now and to come in the near future. I am also connected with other disciplines also as well, from psychology, philosophy, cosmology, mythology, divination, tarot cards, numerology, palmistry. It goes on and on and on. All is welcome. Healing, alternative healing, meditation, yoga, everything is all interconnected. There's a strong relationship with all of these particular schools of thought. So welcome to the show if it is your first time. Thank you for being here. I want to give shout outs to all of you who got the Wednesday show. Right now, as I'm speaking, I'm live on YouTube, and I'm also live on the TikTok. Okay. If you have any questions about astrological phenomena, please send them over and I will be sure to answer them. Shout outs to everybody who has logged on, who's actually in the chat at the moment. Shout outs to Tyrone. Like I said, you're going to be the first guest, man. So I'm going to hit you up very, very soon. Later on, I'll be pulling out the tarot card of the week. Did you all listen to the Sunday podcast that just went? I spoke about the tarot card of the week last week, and a very interesting story occurred. I probably will repeat it again for those of you who didn't hear, or just go and listen to the podcast Sunday. It's all there. I'm available on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, Podchasers, you name it, you can find it. It's the Lunar Lounge podcast. I'm not hard to I'm not hard to find. Let's put it that way. So yeah, so if you have any questions, astrological in terms of what's going on, I will be pulling up the chart for the moment, and I will be discussing about where the planets are right now, what it is that we can look forward to. We just had a full moon day before yesterday, and we're going to be having a new moon. So I'll be talking about the new moon coming up, which is going to be in Leo. So yeah, you know, I'll be talking all about that. Again, various planetary alignments, planetary activities, how it's manifesting for us here down on planet Earth. All of that are the stuff that which will be discussed. What else did I want to say? I'm also available on Telegram, people. So for those of you who do work with the Telegram, if you go to the Lunar Lounge podcast on the Telegram, I'm also there as well. I do daily posts, tarot card of the day, but you know, post like a nice little fancy video. So yeah, you can also catch me on all the social medias, Sacred Planets. So it's there. The website is still, I need to talk about that. I need to air out some frustration, people. What is up with my website? You know what I mean? But, you know, perhaps the Venus retrograde is somewhat connected to that. But then we got Mercury retrograde coming up. And please help me out, people. Say a prayer for me. You know what I mean? I'm about to, yeah. Hopefully this website can be up before the Mercury retrograde hits. If not, you know, could be in trouble. But it is what it is, right? We gotta roll with those punches, right? But big things happening. Getting lots of emails, loads of downloads on the podcast. So I want to thank each and every single one of you who have downloaded my podcast or do download my podcast to listen to. Thank you very much. For those of you who have also subscribed, if you haven't subscribed, by the way, do go to my YouTube channel and click subscribe, or subscribe to also the podcast link also as well. So all that information is there, not hard to find, right here at the Lunar Lounge. And like I said, it's a place where we talk about astrology. It's astrology centered orientated, by the way. It's more kind of astrology. So again, any questions, keep them coming, and I will be attending to your questions shortly. Just want to, if you ever see me leaning over here thinking, what is he looking at? Yeah, I'm just looking at people in the chat. Shout outs to Afia, Hotep, and Grand Rising to you as well. So yeah, thanks a lot for those of you who have taken time to tune in. And for those of you also here on the TikTok, hi. Keep your questions coming and I will be notifying you. I'll be bringing up the chart of the moment, but before I do that, there's supposed to be a few announcements that I'm supposed to be making. Prizes. I've been talking about prizes. Prizes are coming real soon. I kind of want the prizes to it's going to be something that's going to be roped into the website. So when the website gets done, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, maybe I may have to kickstart it. So I want to kickstart it with the whole new moon thing in 2 weeks' time. The problem with that is, like, shortly after that new moon, then Mercury goes retrograde. So I may have to just roll with the punches with all that one. I'm doing the Mercury retrograde work already, to be quite honest, and the Venus retrograde. Do you know, in end of this month, early September, by the way, happy new month to each and every single one of you also as well. Happy new month. Pinch punch, but it's not the first of the month. So hey, why am I saying that? But happy new month. We're in the month of August. I can't believe 2023, it's gone like that. Where did it go? Where's the time going, people? It's flying. Mr. Saturn, father of time, ain't stuff meant to be slow with you? Well, it doesn't feel like that. Anyway, it is what it is. But 2023 seems to have just vanished, gone. Halfway. Well, we're coming to the end, aren't we? I'm in London, UK at the moment. I also want to give shout outs to everybody who's tuning in all throughout the world. This show is worldwide, people. Shout outs to my people up in Brazil. Okay, gotta shout you out first. Why? Because my podcast is #1 in Brazil. Yes, it's one of the #1. It's one of the #1 podcasts in the genre of astrology and spirituality or society and culture. Obviously there's going to be other ones that are topping my one way. I'm sure I'm not that big yet. But shout out to people in Brazil, America, South America, the continent of Africa, the great motherland. Shout outs to all of you guys who are tuning in from Nigeria, Ghana, from the west, from the east, South Africa also as well. Shout outs to people from Asia, India. Listen, man, Bangladesh, Pakistan. Can you believe it? Yes. Middle East. Shout out to my Middle East family. Saudi. Shout outs to you. UAE, Oman, Israel. Yeah, I know. That's my namesake. Got to shout out Israel. Jordan. I've got people from Switzerland, Greece, Italy, Germany, Romania people, Bulgaria. Oh, yeah. Don't doubt it. The show's, it's moving up and up. So thank you very much for your support and for subscribing and for participating. Really, really appreciate it. Getting loads of messages also on the socials. So I really want to thank you, each and every single one of you, for participating there. As well. So yeah, the show's going on. The show's worldwide. It's global, and so it should be. This is the podcast of the cosmos, right? It's a cosmic podcast here. We're talking about planetary energies here. We're talking about the heavens. So why should it be limited to only one particular, place? But shout outs to that. What I wanted to point out about being in London, UK, is the fact that the weather is crap. What kind of summer is this? No summer. There's no summer this year. Like, forget it. We ain't had no summer. It's been raining. It's crazy. Parts of Europe are burning up right now. And here we are in London, UK. We were promised a good summer, heat wave and all this threatening stuff. I even got the air conditioning out. And no, there's nada. On the contrary, cloudiness and rain. Like, really? Yeah, it is what it is. So that's been going crazy. The weather stuff has been going, and that's crazy. What else did I want to also speak about? I've mentioned about my Telegram, so shout out on the Telegram. Okay, so in terms of the prizes, like I said, that's going to be roped in with the website, so that will be coming up shortly soon. Subscription also as well, paid subscription. I'm thinking again, I'm sort of like in two minds. The people who are doing my website, they reckon I should have like sort of like a bronze, silver, gold package. Like, I don't know, too much work. But I think maybe we should just be in the middle and just have one price, and you subscribe and you get what you get. So there's going to be a number of things that you're going to be getting, personal readings, monthly, yearly, solar returns, your perfection. Oh man, yeah. You're going to be getting it all. Tarot card of the week and stuff, and you're going to be getting audio readings. You'll also get a written up reading also as well. So it's good. It's looking good. I'll be telling you about the new moons and full moons and what kind of role it's playing in your chart, what particular planets it's triggering, and what that would mean for you also as well. So all of that is also going to be all to come in the subscription. So when that launches, that will be coming soon. I've got a number of guests lined up. Tyrone, you may be the first one. Look out for that text. You'll be up first, first guest on the Lunar Lounge podcast. But let's see how that goes. But there's a number of guests who are lined up. That's gonna again kick in from the new moon. We work with cycles here, baby. I practice what I preach. So on the next new moon, which is going to be on the 16th of this month, 16th of August, we're going to have the new moon in Leo. I will be talking about that in a moment as well when I bring up the chart for the moment too. And then other planetary alignments as well, I'll be speaking about. Yeah, what other announcements did I want to make? I wanted to talk about last week's card of the week. People, do you remember the card of the week for last week? We had the Seven of Swords. Remember what it is that I told you about the Seven of Swords in terms of what it's about. It's about using this, yeah? Being smart, being sharp. And I also warned against theft, right? I've had about 4 emails and 2 text messages and a phone call in regards to people losing their stuff, theft. One in particular, a very good friend of mine, shout outs to Francesca Oddi, who actually had her phone snatched out of her hand. And, when she was telling me, I was like, didn't you listen to the podcast, man? I told you, watch it. So yeah, and that's been something that apparently has been very rife. I've actually kind of tried to do a little bit of investigation. Supposedly, this kind of activity has actually been quite high. It's been rife anyway, don't get me wrong, for a couple of years now. This is like the new thing with a lot of these street criminals. I don't know if you guys have seen sometimes any of the YouTube videos where people on their bikes and then they snatch women's purses or robbing people, or they snatch people's phones and then they take the phones and they run away and stuff like that. So those are the kinds of activities that has been happening. That's something that's been quite rife. I think it did die down, but actually in the last week, especially since I pulled that tarot card, it's gone up again. So that's quite interesting. Well, there's going to be a tarot card of the week. Let's hope we don't get the Seven of Swords again, right? Okay. All right. But yeah, I was warning against the theft, and yeah, yeah, surely enough. So that was what I wanted to say about the announcement I wanted to make about the tarot card of the week. But I spoke about that on the Sunday podcast in a bit more detail, so you can go back to that, and it's available there on all podcast platforms right here at the Lunar Lounge. So if it's your first time, welcome. And for those of you who join me weekly or listen to my podcast weekly, daily, whenever you get a chance to listen to it, thank you very much. My name is Israel Ajosi. I am your host with the most planetary information and news of the cosmos. And this is the podcast of the cosmos. So in a moment, I will be pulling up the chart of the moment, and let's see what it is that the heavens are saying to us. What is the message that we are getting from the planets? What is it that we can look forward to? So let's do that. Let's bring up the chart for the moment. Okay, coming up. You know me, I always have to fiddle about with all the technicalities. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay. So today, Wednesday, the 2nd of August. The moon today is in Aquarius. Why? Because we had a full moon. Did we not have a full moon yesterday, 2 days ago? We had a full moon in the sign of Aquarius. So we're still in the full moon phase. However, it is waning. Sorry, did I say earlier on that we had the full moon on Monday? Sorry, Tuesday, yesterday. Today's Wednesday. So we had the full moon yesterday. Although it was peaking up, it was building up on the Monday. You could feel the energy. So the moon is currently right now in the sign of Aquarius still. And we'll be there until, early hours of tomorrow, the 3rd of August, where it's going to move into Pisces. Okay. But in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Leo. That's going to be a big one. These ones are big ones. We had a new moon in Cancer last month, which is the one we're still under. And we're going to have a new moon in 2 weeks' time, and that's going to be in the sign of Leo. Only one lion in the zodiac, the big papa. So that one is going to be a big one because that's where the sun is at his strongest. He's in the strongest when he's in the sign of Leo. So that's going to be a great time to plant some seeds for things that you're going to reap in 6 months' time, which will be next year, February, when we have the full moon in Leo. I'll talk about a little bit about that later. But remember, I did remind you guys, or I did tell you guys how you can work with the cycles of the new moons and the full moons. But now we've just gone past a full moon in Aquarius. Now the moon is waning. So every night, what you will notice is that the moon gets smaller and smaller and smaller as she decreases, and she joins the sun in Leo in 2 weeks' time. And then there's going to be a new moon. So what it is that we can bear in mind over the course of the 2 weeks, now that the moon is waning, it's on the side where it's emptying out. Okay, so it's emptying out its energy. It's a waning. It's a release. So between now and the next new moon in 2 weeks' time, on the 16th, this is a great time to perhaps get rid of things, declutter. If you're dealing with any kind of emotional grief or difficulty, here is a time maybe you want to do things that can help release that. this can be a good time to do something therapeutic. Therapy. Now, therapy can be a number of different things. Some people going to the gym is therapy. Some people painting a picture, a work of art is therapy. Therapy is different things for different people. Yes, the conventional, or when we talk about therapy, yes, seeing a counselor, going to see a therapist, going to see a healer, yes, that is therapy also as well. And that's therapy of perhaps a spiritual, psycho-spiritual way. But therapy can be a number of ways. It can also be giving up something as well. Now the moon is waning. This is a great time to perhaps maybe give up smoking, change the diet, that kind of thing, to eliminate, because the moon is, it's getting smaller, it's emptying out, it's releasing. So this is a releasing phase, which we are now in for the next 2 weeks. So we can focus on release, letting go. And that's where the focus is. This is the time to cut your hair for some of you who want to cut your hair. This is the time if you want to lose weight, you want to do rituals in and around losing weight. Now is the time to do that while the moon is actually waning. So it's a great time to get rid of things, declutter the house. Some of us who are hoarders, some of you Cancerians, Cancer rising, or strong placements in Cancer, we like to hoard. You know how it is. So this can be a time where, declutter, get rid of the stuff. Well, what is it that you don't need? Now, over the course of the next 2 weeks is really a good time to work on what is it that we don't need. Get rid of it, you see. And it can actually be good for the planet. I mean, we're doing some serious damage, aren't we? And we're seeing the impacts of that, the whole global warming, something's happening. Like I keep saying, when I was a child, I had a sledge. And I remember using my sledge once a year, well, more than once a year, but during the winter period, a number of times, because there was snow, deep snow. And me and my sister had the sledge. I don't remember the last time there's been a white Christmas not in London, UK, and not in England, UK. I don't remember the last time. So don't tell me that global warming ain't real. Something's happening. It's just that some people are just trying to capitalize on that and, use it in other ways. So that's another story, another topic for another day. Just going over to the chat. Shout outs to Katanga's in the house. Shout outs to you. Yep. So much global warming, as he's also said. So this global warming is it's quite cool. So this could be a time maybe to do some tidying up, decluttering, getting rid of things that are no longer necessary, things that may be using up energy, taking up space perhaps. While the moon is waning, this is a really good time to do that. Losing weight, giving up smoking, giving up drinking, whatever habit it is that you want to give up, whatever thing in your diet that you may feel that you want to give up, you want to change. Now is a great time where you can focus on that while the moon actually is waning, when it's decreasing, because the moon is connected to our physical being, okay? It represents, it's connected with our emotions, it's connected with our sense of security, but it's also to do with our, the moon is as a representation of the Great Mother, okay? It's what sustains us. It's the moon that pulls on the currents, on the tides of the waters all throughout the world, okay? She's the one who draws on the waters for yes, of course, when the rain falls, yes, the plants do get water that way, but it's actually the moon that is responsible for drawing those nutrients, that water, to the roots. This is moon that's doing that. It's the moon that is pulling on the waters of the planet, that enables the planet to be able to move and shift and nurture the plants accordingly. Yeah, she's also governs over nature, instincts. So she's our Great Mother. So while she is our great mother, it's wise that we move in accordance with the cycles of the moon, and we get the benefits, basically. You all know what happens when we don't listen to mom. Mm-hmm. Yes, say no more. Shout out to you parents out there. So moon is currently at the moment in the sign of Aquarius. So we got an Aquarius moon, right? But at the moment, the moon is also square Uranus. It's not going to be for that long. It's only going to be for today. So watch out for any kind of erratic behavior. It'll be gone by tomorrow, but hey, watch it. Uranus is a very unpredictable, chaotic, crazy planet. You never quite know what you're going to get. And that's the kind of thing that we're likely going to see over the period of today, but for those of you who are going to be listening to this podcast, tomorrow or the day after, that time would have gone. So that's for you guys who are listening to the live right now. And then what else? We've got a number of things. Well, Venus is still retrograde. Okay. So I've been speaking about the Venus retrograde, how that's been affecting relationships, putting certain amounts of tension on relationships, but it's allowing us to reevaluate our relationships. For those people who are not in relationships, who may be in a position of relationship seeking, this is also a very crucial time where you can perhaps maybe reflect on what it is that you are truly seeking in the terms of relationships. Yes, at times with Venus retrograde, you do find it's quite common to find ex-partners, ex-lovers coming back into your space. And very often that is very often they're coming in a way, very often it's closure. Some relationships can get back together and get on the mend and thing, but there has to be some kind of deep revaluation, deep consideration, deep rearrangement within the relationship that needs to take place, so for it to go to the next level. One of the main reasons why relationships crash or they crumble or they end is that it doesn't have what it takes to go to that next level. We grow, we enter different phases of our life, we grow into different things in our life, we have different interests. So sometimes couples do somewhat grow apart. Not that that's a bad thing, it happens. It doesn't mean that they can still split and be amicable about that. But yeah, it does happen. But essentially it's because the ingredients to take it to the next level is missing in some way. So Venus retrograde kind of allows us to reevaluate that. I have been telling you about clothing. Try not to buy clothes during the Venus retrograde. It's quite interesting because I've just kind of noticed, like, I do need some new clothes, but I'm just not buying them now. Which is quite interesting. It's almost like I realized that when the Venus was retrograde. So it's like, again, something saying, okay, you need to sort of like, fix up a bit, look a bit more decent, a bit more presentable. So yeah, but I'm very conscious about where I shop, especially during the Venus retrograde. These are things that you can, what is it, where are you placing your values? Not to just overspend, or buy things because of maybe the name brand, but reevaluate, have some kind of ethics there also as well. And this is a lot of things that, again, these are a lot of the things or situations that are being spoken about in terms of the our attitude towards the planetary resources we're overusing. Did you know, announcement here, people, did you know that planet Earth, we have enough clothes worldwide, this is, to clothe the next 6 generations? The next 6 generations, we have enough material and clothes right now, as we're speaking, on planet Earth. Yet we could go down the high shops or high streets and companies are printing or creating, I say printing, but sewing or making just new clothes, designers or whatever. They're working on what's the winner. What's winter, autumn season, winter season next year? They're already working on it. The materials are there. So it's quite interesting. We are buying too much, and this Venus retrograde is a particular time where we may have to reevaluate that. Where are our values? We can't just keep spending. I'm not having a go, and there's no judgment, but there's many of you out there who've had one pair of shoes, one trainers, and you've worn them once, but yet you've bought others. Like, come on, have a bit of thought there. So, the demand gets higher because we want more and more and more, especially of us in the Western regions of the parts of the world. Not all, but a majority. It does seem like we are more the consumers. So we want more. And that obviously, has a snowball effect, because if the demand is more, then the supplier has to, create more. And then, more materials means tearing down more rainforests or more, planetary resources, human resources also as well. Let's not forget with some of these, this is what I'm saying about reevaluating, because Venus is the planet of values. So we have to perhaps maybe evaluate, well, where are we buying our stuff from? How do you make this stuff? How do you treat your staff? Are they well paid? Are they looked after? Or have you got some kid in some sweatbox, banging out or sewing out these cheap materials? So these are the kinds of things. I'm not having to go at any particular brand or store. Of course, everybody's got to make their money and make a living, but we can do that, but do it ethically and properly, and where it's not damaging the planet. So Venus retrograde for me is showing me on a collective level, these are some of the things that we have to look at, especially with Jupiter in Taurus right now, which is the sign ruled by Venus, because what? Jupiter's the planet of expansion. And what is it? Are we expecting? Inflation. I told you that when Jupiter moved into Taurus, those are the things that we can expect. It's inflation. People automatically get happy. Oh, yeah, Jupiter in Taurus, more money. More money for who? For you? Or for the government? Ooh. But it's more money. Yeah, but that means money goes up. Inflation goes up. The things have just been going sky high. It's going to be like that. Jupiter's going to be in Taurus until next year, May. So buckle those belts, baby. But this is a crucial time now. Venus is retrograde, where we can really reevaluate what it is what are we doing? How are we spending our money, and where are we placing our values? Most importantly, that is Venus retrograde. So things to do with money and finances, yeah, they're going to come to the forefront. Things to do with fashion going to come to the forefront. One of the big things also as well, which I spoke about, is about the Barbie. The Barbie craze is still out there. People going, this popular film, I think it's still #1 in the cinema. So again, I did let you know that was connected or associated again with the whole Barbie thing. And also I think there's something about the creator of Barbie was born in the year that Venus went retrograde, and there was something to do with when Barbie was released. I think Venus went retrograde that year, or something of that nature. But quite interesting with how the correlation, the planetary correlations correspond to the planetary influences. So Venus retrograde, she's doing her thing. Like I said, she's going to be retrograde until the 3rd, 4th of September. So, hey, get on with those waves, man. What else is actually happening here? What else is it that I need to be looking at? Mr. Mercury. Mercury has entered the sign of Virgo. Now, if you caught my last podcast on Sunday, I spoke about that. Actually, most of that podcast was about Mercury and the planets he was connecting to. So he's in Virgo now. He's opposing Saturn, but he's separating. So I did tell you about how that can affect the trade. Those of you who traders out there, any traders out there, like to make the money on the trade? Yeah, you may want to pause that for a couple of days until Mercury, Saturn sort of like starts to release. However, starting from, let's say from about tomorrow, day after tomorrow, so that would be about the 4th, 5th of August, Mercury is going to start to trine Jupiter. That's good. So I spoke about that and the impact on in terms of what that's going to have. So we're going to have Mercury trining Jupiter. It's really going to start getting strong, especially from about the 4th of August, even from the 3rd, which is tomorrow, from about the 3rd of August, 4th of August, it will start to get strong. That aspect is going to start to get strong, and Mercury will trine Jupiter, and that could be good. That can be good for trade. It'd be good for business and money making, and good for studying. It's Mercury, the planet of communications, the planet of information. So we can see a bit of a boost there. I'm just looking over here to see the questions coming in. How can you see the stars at night? Can't see in the UK. Somebody saying, okay. Shout outs to Dunsday. Is it Dunsday? Forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, but shout outs to Dunsday. How can we see the star? Yeah, it's been very, very cloudy. It has been. Suppose that's where we got to use the apps, right? But it has been quite cloudy actually. That is true. But we know where the planets are, and that's the main thing. But it would be nice to see the stars. I mean, and again, for those of us who live in the city, so much light pollution, there's street lights everywhere, and you guys who live outside of the cities or live in quieter areas out, in the little towns, some of you guys who live in highlands also as well, you go to places like Scotland, go to Edinburgh or Glasgow, and yeah, you get those nice starry heavens at night, and you can really appreciate them. It's like the stars are like they're there. You can just reach for them. They're just up there in the ceiling, and you can just get them and pull them down. So that's really that's really cool actually. But yeah, sometimes we don't have that opportunity by living in the city. But there is going to be a trine with Jupiter. And that trine is it will peak on the so that trine or that alignment of Mercury Jupiter will peak on the 9th, 8th, 9th of August. So the 9th of August, the 10th of August will be the peak, and then it will still be there. It's going to be there for quite a while actually. To be quite honest, we'll be able to really enjoy that Mercury trine Jupiter up until the 18th of August, right? So that will be after the new moon, because we got the new moon on the 16th, right? So that's quite, good, decent time there. So Mercury Jupiter can be good for traveling, can be good for learning, good for taking exams, good for studying. For those of you who perhaps writing is an essential part of what you do or who you are, this could be a really amazing time. I've got to take some water. Please forgive me. Yeah. This show gets heated, and I need a lot of water. Plus, I'm cancer rising, so hey, bring on the water. So this trine, this alignment with Mercury Jupiter is a real good one. It's a great time to really capitalize on our communication, traveling, movement, bookkeeping. Can be great for Well, hopefully my website's done by then. That'll be a great time. I need to get on my website, people, and let them know, say, hey, look. But the delays have been really, I'm sure it's not just me, not making excuses. The delays have been there. We've had it because we had Mars opposing Saturn. Now we've got Mercury opposing Saturn. So Saturn's been doing his thing. And Saturn is also retrograde at the moment as well. So do remember, from the next couple of days, we're going to have this nice trine, this nice alignment with Mercury and Jupiter, which will take us up until about the 18th. Then just before that 18th also as well, if I just go back a bit to give you another alignment to watch out for, from about the 14th of August of this month, Mercury is then going to make a trine to the planet Uranus in Taurus. That is also quite good. It's good for being inventive, being creative. Mercury Uranus is really electrifying. Uranus is going to bring genius ideas and thoughts and communication. So those are the times perhaps maybe you want to be, for those of you again who work with a particular kind of network, you want to be networking your ideas, connecting with people. That can be really good during that particular time here, because we're going to have Mercury here trining Uranus. So Mercury trine Uranus it's a good one. That can, that's a real energetic one, and it's a one of genius, especially for those of you who may have that natally in your chart. Okay, so do watch out for that planetary aspect. And like I said, that will start from round about the 14th of August, and then that will sort of like it doesn't quite make it because Mercury then goes retrograde. So, but it will be there until about the 23rd, 24th of August. It's there, but then Mercury is going to start moving retrograde, and then back up your computers, people. But even though he's going to be moving retrograde on the 23rd, 24th of August, he's going to be in his own sign, so that's quite good. He's still going to be making a trine to Uranus. He's going to come back and make another trine to Jupiter. So it may start to wane again from about the 26th, 27th. And then Mercury is going to come back again, and he will trine Jupiter again. And that's going to be early September, but I'm going to keep you updated on that. So early September, the first week in September, Mercury is going to be trining Jupiter, but it's going to be a retrograde Mercury, but still it's going to be trining Jupiter, so that's going to be quite cool. Venus would have turned direct by then, because on the 3rd, 4th of September, Venus is going to turn direct, and she's going to start moving direct, and then the money can start flowing, right? The relationships can start flowing. So it is what it is. So that's something we can look forward to. Let me just go back again and just see other things that are also happening that we can look forward to over the course of this month. So Mercury goes retrograde 24th, 25th of this month of August. And then on the 28th of August, but actually, let me not talk before I talk about that. Let's go back a bit. So from about, okay, here we go. From the 15th of August, people pay attention. From the 15th of August, the planet Mars is going to be in opposition to the planet Neptune. We're going to have Mars opposing Neptune. Mars is the planet of energy. He's fiery. We've got Neptune, who's a water planet. He's soggy. He's wet. Well, we all know what happens when water meets fire. Okay? Water outs the fire. So Mars opposing Neptune, what we're going to find is that the wetness of Neptune is going to sap the energy of Mars. Okay, it takes the sting out of the Mars. It weakens him. So during that period, and this is going to be about from the 15th of August, okay? So bear that in mind, people. So from the 15th of August. So from the 15th of August until, and I'm going to tell you when it's going to peak. So it's going to peak on, so it will peak on the 20th of August, okay? On the, oh no, sorry, what am I talking about? Made a mistake there, miscalculation, sorry. Apologies. It's going to peak on the 23rd of August. That's when the Mars and the Neptune opposition will be exact, okay? That's going to be on the 20, even the day before, actually. Yeah, sort of like 22nd, 23rd of August. That's when it's going to be at its peak, okay? So during this time, be mindful. What we may find is that we're just feeling a little bit weaker. We're feeling a little bit drained. We're feeling a bit sapped. That's also coming sort of like to the end of the holiday period also as well. So you've played your football, you've had your fun, you've been on holiday here. So around this period, you may feel a bit sapped, like there's not enough energy, especially those of you who are Aries and Scorpio, or Aries rising and Scorpio rising. Be mindful around this time because that's your planet, people. So you may feel a little bit under the weather. You may feel a little bit low on energy. So you want to be making sure you get in your energy levels up. Make sure you're up on that broccoli and on that spinach and on your steaks if you're a meat eater, you know, wherever it is that you get your iron from. So because it's going to be, and then that will go on for quite a few days because we're going to be getting that until well, technically until about, let's say, the 28th of August. And on the 28th of August, the planet Mars is going to move into the sign of Libra. Now Mars doesn't necessarily like it there. That's a sign that belongs to Venus. And so on the 28th, Mars moves into Libra. Libra is about diplomacy, strategy. It's ruled by the planet Venus. It's an air sign. So it's very good in communication and strategy and problem solving. It's very social and relationship orientated. It tends to be geared towards those kinds of activities. So Mars going in there is essentially showing us that we have to be more strategic and more diplomatic. Less of the war, or you fight, but in a diplomatic way. Fighting in a diplomatic way. Mars in Libra. So that's going to be happening on the 28th. Mars is going to be in Libra, and he'll be there for about a month or so. So yeah, watch this space. And during that period, of course, Mercury and Venus will be retrograde. At some point, we're going to have quite a few, because Jupiter is going to be going retrograde soon. Uranus is going retrograde soon. Uranus is going to go retrograde. He stays stationary on the 28th, on the day Mars, when Mars moves into Libra. So Mars moves into Libra, and then Uranus is going to go stationed on that day, 29th. And then on the 30th of August, Uranus is going to go retrograde. So what am I saying here? We're going to have Venus retrograde, Mars sorry. Let me start again. Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Uranus retrograde, Pluto retrograde. Everybody's going retrograde, baby. It's retrograde season. It's crazy. Oh my God. And then I know Jupiter. When is Jupiter? Okay, then then listen to this. On the 3rd of September, 3rd, 4th, Venus comes out of retrograde, right? And then on the 5th of September, 6th of September, Jupiter starts going retrograde. So Venus comes out of retrograde. So by the 6th of September, we're gonna be in a Mercury retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde, Uranus is retrograde, Neptune is retrograde, and Pluto is retrograde. They're all retrograde. They're all going to be retrograde apart from Venus and Mars. Sun and Moon don't move retrograde, so don't worry, I didn't miss them out. But yeah, yeah, it's that time. So we may start to experience things slowing down. End of August, end of this month, things will slow down. Beginning of September, things will slow down. Okay, so be very mindful about this because all these planets are going to be moving retrograde. Okay, and Venus would have just finished her retrograde also as well. So yeah, just looking. Shout outs to Jen. Shout out to everybody in the chat room there on the YouTube channel. And shout out to everybody here also on the TikTok as well. Welcome. You're here tuned in, locked in to the Lunar Lounge podcast with myself, Israel Josie, the host with the most of the planetary news updates and information. So yeah, it's looking real busy, people. It's looking real busy. So yeah. So what else have we got that I want to speak about over the course of this month that is also going to be taking place that we should be watching out for? I want to talk about the new moon in a moment, but before I go there, I just want to see other planetary activity that we should be watching out for. We're in the Leo season. Let me not forget you Leos. How dare I? Shout outs to all you Leo people. Happy birthday to you all. I know there's a number of Leos out there who it's their birthday. I've got Leos in my family. Oh yeah. You know you like taking that spotlight. Yes, we know. Shout outs to you all. I mentioned again, I always try to mention like a number of celebrities who are of a zodiac sign that it's popular. Your Jennifer Lopez's, your Jason Momoa's, your Barack Obama's. You remember Barack Obama, don't you? Barack Obama. Yeah. The man who could do no wrong. Yeah, he was a Leo too. Bill Clinton, Leo, another Leo. Yeah, so shout outs to the Leo people. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wesley Snipes, Usain Bolt. He would be, wouldn't he? What other zodiac sign, when God was creating Usain Bolt, there couldn't have been another zodiac sign he could have given? Surely not. It would have had to be, hey man, you're going down as a Leo. You're going to break some world records in the Olympics, so you're going to be a god. What other zodiac sign can you be? Got to be the Leo. So yeah, Usain Bolt, Leo. Who else? What's up? Abroad again as usual. Oh, somebody's in the. Okay, who's that? Is it Caprine? Abroad again as usual. Okay. Is that for me or is it for someone else? But yeah. Shout outs to all you Leos. Happy birthday. We're in the Leo season. I would say we're supposed to be enjoying the Leo weather. Well, at least for us in the Northern Hemisphere. But I'm in London right now, and that's not the case. I'm looking outside the window right now as I'm speaking to you, and it is cloudy as... Not only is it cloudy, it's raining. We're in August, and it's raining. It looks like... I mean, if I took a picture and said I took this in, November, October, November, December, you could, but if I said, oh, this is August, people, you'd slap me in my face and say, what a liar. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay. So in a few days, well, it's already happening already. Well, today's the 2nd, so it's happening already. At the moment, there's a square with the sun and Jupiter. Jupiter is square the sun. This is going to peak on This will peak on the 7th of August. On the 7th of August, this is going to come to a peak where there's going to be an exact square and a very tight alignment with the sun and Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, the planet of growth. It's a square, so it is somewhat a bit frustrating. So what may happen during that particular period? It's a good period. It's a very creative period. It's a good, if you want to say, it's a building up square as well. It's a waxing square. So what it's indicating is that there's some kind of increase that is looking to happen in our life. Something is looking to increase. And these are what the kind of the paid subscriptions that I'm going to be doing are going to be. Here I can tell you the general mundane. With the subscription, I'm going to be letting you know where in your life that is going to be happening and how it is that you're going to be receiving it. So when the paid subscription does come, for those of you who are interested, you can subscribe and you will get again a monthly update in terms of what's happening in your chart and the planetary alignments and how they are affecting you personally. But Jupiter Sun, it's a time of expansion. This is a time of growth. Okay, so something's looking to expand in our lives during that particular time. Now, it may be somewhat a bit forced. That is that is going to be a likelihood because it's a square. It may be something like we may feel a bit challenged or we feel a little bit pushed, but there's going to be a very strong urge to want to do something and to want to expand in some way, in some area of our life, to do more, to get more, to participate more. That is going to be the Sun, Jupiter. There can be an element of luck around it because Jupiter is the planet of luck. For those of you who are Aries or Aries rising, and for those of you who are Leos or Leo rising, this would be pertaining to you. You're going to feel this very much so. For those of you as well who are Sagittarius rising, Pisces and Pisces rising, it's also going to be pertaining to you also as well. You're the ones who are going to feel this push even more so. Okay? So that is Aries rising, Leo rising, Sagittarius rising, or Pisces rising. You're the ones who are going to feel that square more so around that period. So it's going to peak on the 7th of August. Okay? And then after that, it will start to wane. So between now, today's the 2nd, and the 7th of August, we're getting the Sun building up to square Jupiter. Okay? So do bear that one in mind, people. Also, from about also around that time, around that period, let's say from about the 8th of August again onwards, from about the 8th up until the 12th, there's going to be a trine. On the 12th is actually when it peaks. There's going to be an alignment between the Sun and the planet Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. So if any of you are doing any kind of healing work, okay, you want to be taking full advantage of that. Okay, Sun is going to be trining Chiron in Aries. This is going to be very strong. It's great for healing. Okay, Any of you who are Aries also as well, if any of you guys all have strong Aries planets, or for any of you who are Leos, this will be really good to do some kind of therapeutic work, healing work that can allow you to really connect with that. So the sun is going to be trining Chiron. It will peak on the 12th. It's going to peak on the 12th. And then on the next day, well, I've told you about the next day. I've told you about the 13th of August. That is mega, okay? I've splashed that all over social media. On the 13th of August, on Sunday, the 13th of August, people, from approximately 8:30 a.m. GMT or UK time up until 4:30 p.m. UK time, Venus is going to be in the heart of the sun. She's going to be conjunct the sun, and there's a certain amount of distance, a distance of 17 minutes, where she's in the heart of the sun, where she goes invisible. She goes into the underworld. Venus is going into the underworld, people. And this is a very, very special and auspicious time. Very powerful time. It's the time for magic. For those of you who do magic, who participate in magic. Yeah, people are reminding me about other Leos. Madonna, yes. Trump. Well, Trump's Leo rising. He's not, well, he's Leo rising. He's not Leo. Although he acts like a Leo. Well, he's Leo rising. What do you expect? Yeah. Somebody's talking about increase taking from our pay. Yeah, maybe an increase from your pay can be that. But it can be a place where you increase, you see. We need to increase with that. But if it is in a place in your chart that is influencing pay, then yeah, that can be the case. So on the 13th of August, from 8:30 a.m. GMT till 4:30 p.m. GMT, UK time, Venus is going to be in the heart of the sun. It's known as cazimi. It's magic time. Here is where you want to be doing any kind of perhaps rituals to do with finances, money, romance, anything to do with that Venusian. Any of you guys who are maybe poets or singers, artists, painters, designers, fashion, here is your moment. For those of you who do meditation, prayers, mantras, rituals of any kind, here it is. If you've got any gemstones, if you've got any Venusian gemstones, I haven't got my it's probably in my bedroom somewhere. What is it? My rose quartz. This can be a time to charge your crystals. Charge them up with the Venusian energy. Okay, this can be really great for that. So yeah, that's going to be taking place on the 13th of August from 8:30 a.m. GMT time to 4:30 p.m. GMT. So you've got about a window of about 8-9 hours tops. Not even a full day. Just adjusting my camera here. Someone's been messing around with my camera. I don't know who to blame for that, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, do watch out for that. That is a magical day. So yeah. And then a few days after that, the sun, on the 15th of August, we're going to have the sun square Uranus. Really explosive time. And that's going to be that's the day just before the new moon. The sun will square Uranus. Erratic behavior, unpredictable behavior, Again, a breakthrough, a needing to create something new, a dynamic time, a very powerful time, an explosive time. For those of you who are perhaps in the area of technology, this could be a great breakthrough for you. Science, it could be a great breakthrough for you. Sports, because the sun is in Leo, could be in the creative industry, we could see some great breakthroughs with the sun squaring Uranus. And then obviously the day after, on the 16th, is where we're going to have the new moon in the sign of Leo. And let me give you the exact time of when that is going to be taking place. Okay, so it's looking like it's gonna be I got it. Oh, sorry, what am I doing there? Miscalculation. Let me go back. This is the beauty of being able to do this live. Okay, here we go. Voila. So on the 16th of August at 10:38 a.m. GMT time, this is the peak of the new moon in Leo. Yeah, I think I want my website done around this time, or relaunching. So yeah, new moon in Leo, okay, on the 16th of August at 10:38 a.m. GMT UK time. So wherever you are on the globe, remember this show is global. Adjust the time according to where you are on the planet. So there we're going to have a new moon in Leo. And that new moon is going to be square Uranus. What kind of new moon is that? So the explosiveness from the day before, when the sun is exactly squaring Uranus, and then on the next day with the new moon, it's going to be squaring Uranus. This is going to be a very, very unconventional, unpredictable, explosive new moon, people. And like I said, the new moon is to do with new beginnings, when we are planting new seeds. This is a time when we plant new intentions, right? But remember, we don't get the new intention straight away. The intentions of what we plant with this particular new moon coming up in Leo on the 16th of August is going to be reaped when we have the full moon in Leo next year in February. Yeah, when we have the full moon in Leo, which will be next year, February. That's when we're going to reap what we are going to sow, what we plant with the new moon in Leo. And new moon in Leo is great for creativity, is great for enterprise, great for, creating any kind of new particular projects in your life. So I'm going to be working with it. So jump on and it's got Uranus, it's got a Uranus touch. So it's got a wild, unusual, and it's something that can benefit the public. It's social. Uranus is very progressive. He's very humanitarian, let's put it that way. So something that can benefit humanity in any way, shape, or form is where this this square can be extremely useful. So yeah, let's watch out for the square of the new moon. Just looking here in the chat. Okay, nothing there. So yeah, so that's going to be the new moon. The Venus is also not going to be too far away from this new moon as well. So I suppose there's going to be a Venusian effect also as well. And being the fact that she's going to be in the heart of the sun a few days before, well, on the 13th, that's going to be like 3 days after we're going to have that new moon. So Venus is still in like close proximity. So that's quite cool. So yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. And then a few days later, I just wanted to say there's going to be like a kind of conjunction with Mercury and Mars, but doesn't quite get there, because Mars is sort of like pulling away. Mercury is starting to slow down. But, towards the end of the month, starting from about, to be quite honest, starting from about round about like that 15th, 16th, Mercury and Mars are quite close together at the going towards the end of Virgo. But then obviously Mercury is going to go retrograde around like he turns retrograde 23rd, 24th, and then Mars starts pulling away. And obviously on the 28th, obviously Mars moves into Libra. So, the distance becomes, but during that particular time as well, we're going to have Mercury, Mars. This can be really good. Great for sports, great for competitive thinking, great for debates, great for writing. Mars, Mercury will stimulate, mental activity very, very high. So that's really good. So that can be a real, good aspect that we can play with also as well. Mercury conjunct Mars. So that will be from about like the 13th, 14th. That's where we're going to start to really kind of have it. 13th, 14th of August. But it doesn't quite get exact because as Mercury starts to slow down, Mars starts to pull away. So he doesn't quite make that. So yeah. What else did I want to speak about? Mars as well is going to be opposing Neptune. I spoke about that on the Sunday podcast. So do go back on the Sunday podcast because there's more detail with that. But Mars does start to oppose just as he, stations to go retrograde, he's going to oppose Neptune. That's going to be a bit of a confusing time. Neptune opposing Mercury brings confusion in our thoughts, miscommunication, plus Mercury is going to be retrograde also as well. So do watch it around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, basically until the end of August, to the beginning of September. Watch it because communication may be a little bit hazy. It's not going to, Mercury, Neptune, it's not what you think it is. Things go missing, attention to detail. Can be a great time to get into meditation mode, spiritual practices. It will be excellent for that. You traders out there, Mercury is the planet of trade. You want to be staying away from trade around about that. I don't think it's really good to be trading in anything right about now anyways. With all these planets and all these retrogrades that are coming up, don't look too good. Maybe end of September, beginning of, October, maybe start to be somewhat a bit more better. So there we have that. What else are we going to have? Okay. One more last one before I finish. So starting from So starting from about the 17th of August, we're going to have a grand trine in the heavens. There's going to be a grand trine. A grand trine is where three planets create a triangle in the heavens. This is a very, very important time. There's going to be a grand trine with the planet Mars, Uranus, and Pluto. Mars, Uranus, and Pluto. They're in the Earth signs. Mars is in Virgo, Uranus is in Taurus, and Pluto is in Capricorn. So it's going to be a great time for work, great energy, great for finishing off projects. For those of us who really work with hand-on details, this is going to be really good. Hands-on work, practical work, pragmatic work. This is really going to be a really great time with this grand trine in the Earth signs. So you Tauruses, you Virgos, you Capricorns, you guys will feel this particular grand trine perhaps more strongly, so to speak. So that's going to be quite good. This will actually somewhat peak around that 17th. Well, the trine with Mars and Uranus, that will be quite good. Lots of energy, again, very explosive. But then building up, Mars will start moving closer and closer to Pluto. And on the 24th of August, 25th of August. Will it be 24th as well? 25th of August, there's going to be a perfect trine with Mars and Pluto. Now, that's going to be very explosive. And that's going to be very sexy. So, all you bedroom bullies, now is your time. Mars Pluto can be quite sexual, especially in a trine. Make no mistake about it. Okay. So we're gonna see sexuality energy heightened during that particular time. I think it will be very interesting to perhaps maybe look out in the media, in the newspapers, listen to the news and see what happens around that time. So 25th of August is when it's really going to be peaking, but building up to that. So from about the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, we're going to be getting a buildup of this Mars Pluto energy. And Pluto is a very purging function. Pluto brings up energies from the deep and brings them up. That is what Pluto does. So during that time, we're going to get this huge, powerful Pluto-Mars energy, and energies really surfing right from the gut, bringing it up. It's going to be great. It's going to be a really a huge unleash of energy, which can also be creative. We may see it in sports. We may see it in the creative industry. We may see it in the banking industry. It's going to be very interesting to see how the banking, even though Mercury is going to be retrograde around that time, but it's going to be interesting to see how the banking industry is functioning around about that time. But Pluto, Mars, it's a trine, so it's a positive one. Huge amount of resources. This is a very, very resourceful time. It's in the Earth sign also as well. It's in Virgo and Capricorn. Pluto's in Capricorn right now, even though Pluto's moving retrograde, but still, it's in the Earth signs. So it's something practical, it's something hands-on, it's something materialistic, it's something resourceful, physical resources. So we're likely going to see that particular kind of activity around that time. Huge burst of energy also around that time. So do watch out for that. Angela's letting me know that it's her birthday on that day. Angela's saying, so it's a good time to launch new stuff. That's a great aspect. So watch out for that. 25th of August. Good day. For a number of things. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna do the tarot card of the week in a moment. I just want to double check if there's something significant that I wanted to speak about. I think I've covered everything, pretty much, or most of it. I suppose around that time also as well, the sun is going to move into Virgo on the 23rd of August as well. So, but I'll speak about that closer to the time. And then we'll be celebrating the month of the Virgos. Virgos in the house. But not yet. We are now still in the Leo season. And the ruler wants his space and his platform. So quite rightly, we should give it to him. So shout out to all you Leos once again. But I believe those are the things that I do want to cover for now. I'll be giving you more updates again on Sunday coming. You guys get 2 podcasts a week. Nobody's doing that, man. Nobody's doing that. I am your host with the most planetary information and news. That's how it is. I shall hold that title until I'm proven otherwise. So that is the planetary news and updates for the next week. Okay, we are at that time of the tarot cards. Tarot card of the week. What is it going to be? Now, before I pull out a tarot card, I'm going to take a sip of water. Not exactly a sip, is it? But hey, I got to hydrate, right? So I'm going to shuffle the cards. So if you're new to this, every week, I pull out a tarot card for the week, and it lets us know what kind of energies it is that we are going to be working with over the course of the next week. Tarot card of last week, like I said, it was the Seven of Swords. And trust me, like I said, I got three or four emails, 2 texts, and a phone call, something along that line, of people alerting me that they've lost their phone. That's why I got the email, because they couldn't contact me by phone, because it either had been stolen. I think 3 of them were stolen. One said she lost it. So that okay. That could be here or there. But nevertheless, yeah, watch it. These archetypes are real. Okay. I'm not necessarily being dogmatic that you have to believe it, but hey, if you don't, you don't. But trust me, this shit is real and it works. So yeah, it is what it is. So let me give the cards a shuffle and let's have a look at the tarot card of the week. Tarot card of the week, people. Let's have a shuffle and let's see tarot card of the week. Okay. Just shuffling and voila. I don't know what the card is. I know it when you know. What is today's card? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we got the 4 of Cups. Okay, it's the 4 of Cups. So can you all see that there? Not looking too sharp there, but that's it there. 4 of Cups, people. That's the card that's out. 4 of Cups. The people on the TikTok can't really see this. I don't know. It's like you've been robbed. There you go. 4 of Cups. You can see it there. 4 of Cups. So what does this mean over the course of the next week? It may be something more on an emotional level. This is a card that represents not being satisfied, feeling a bit stagnant. So we're likely going to feel a bit stagnant over the course of the next week. We may feel things are not moving. Maybe from an astrological perspective, it could be to do with this. Well, we've had the Mars opposing Saturn, which is waning. I told you that. But that ethos is still in the air. But now we're having Mercury opposing Saturn. Again, it's waning, but it's still there. So there's a lot of kind of Saturnian kind of energy about. So this card is actually indicating that we are in a particular place where there's an element of stagnation, boredom. So this is the kind of energy that we're likely, that we are going to meet. Not likely, we are going to meet it. I've pulled it out. So we are going to meet this energy. We may feel like, stagnant, feeling bored. This is a card that indicates that be mindful, because what it's indicating is that there are going to be opportunities that are presenting themselves to us. But in our frustration or boredom, we may miss the opportunity. So people, over the course of the next week, try to stay alert. Even though you may feel blocked inhibited, just like I've been talking about, like with my website. I feel really blocked because I can't do nothing. I can't put nothing up. I want to put my classes up. I want to, start advertising whatever, get my subscription going, all this kind of stuff. I've been like, so, I can see in some kind of way how it's related to me, but it's indicating that there are other options and opportunities that will present themselves in a very slightly handy way. But if I just like wallow or choose to wallow in that, oh my God, poor me, then I will miss the opportunity. So guys, be alert, because opportunities are definitely out there for you to grasp, to take. Okay? Try to be open. But the feeling of the stagnation or the frustration is still going to be out and about. It's still going to be there, but you want to be mindful that, okay, there are opportunities that are presenting themselves in some way, shape, or form. It's the Four of Cups. The number 4 is that it's the box. So we may feel boxed in over the course of the next week. That is what the Four of Cups is about, and that is the tarot card of the week, people. Four of Cups. Update me, let me know. Be sure that you watch out for those, while it's actually when we're boxed in, that's where the creative, that's where the new can spring out. That's where the change can happen. So being boxed in, try not to see being boxed in or being closed in or frustrated or feeling inhibited in some kind of way. Don't see that as a poor me, I'm boxed in, I can't do nothing. No, that's the time where, yes, let me think, there's an opportunity, there's a way out, bang. You see, that's what it is. Always looking for a little gap, an opportunity for where you can make that change. Four of Cups. So that is the card or tarot card of the week. I believe I've come to the end of my show. The show will be uploaded on the YouTube channel. The video one will be uploaded on the YouTube channel. The audio, for those of you who subscribe or listen and download my podcast, will be uploaded in the next couple of hours. So you'll be able to access that and listen. I'm available on any podcast platform: Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Podchasers. There's so many names to mention. I can't even mention all of them. There's so many. But yeah, I will be, the show is available on there twice a week. It's uploaded every Sunday, every Wednesday. So far, so good. I mean, there may be, well, I'm gonna make sure that I'll do two a week. It is what it is, man. It keeps me busy, but hey, if that don't keep me busy, something else will be keeping me busy. Yeah. What else did I want to close up on? Did I want to mention anything else? Yes, people, I am on Telegram. If you are on Telegram, subscribe to my Telegram group. It's the Lunar Lounge Podcasts. So I do daily posts there. I've also got I've got 2 actually on Telegram: Sacred Planets or the Lunar Lounge Podcast. Subscribe to both or either one of them. I put up daily posts, tarot card of the day, where the moon is, and also, post little, memes or, things that, again, that you can work with. I'll be back on Sunday. Your host with the most planetary news and information, Israel Ajosi. I want to thank each and every single one of you who cared to join live. Those of you on the TikTok, those of you on the YouTube, I want to thank you so much for your energy, for your participation, for your support, and hopefully you continue to support me. The show is up and away. So without further ado, thank you very much, people. Have a great day. Have a wonderful week. and I will be speaking to you again. You shall be hearing my voice in those ears on Sunday coming. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Goodbye.